Hello, one and all. It is I, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and today, not a whole lot going on. To tell you the truth, just a random video with a very small update. Got some things coming up soon. I'm hoping to attend a few things. In September, there's the which one is it? Oh, Chicago Horror Film Festival. I believe it's a collection of like either short films or feature-length films or a mixture of the two. It's a 3-day event at the Portage Theater once again, where I went to Terror in the Isles. Looks promising. Some of the titles that are on there look really good. Good independent films. People always talk about support independent films, so yeah, I think I should practice what I preach and support independent film and go check this out. Might find something really cool in the bunch, you know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to that. And then also the Music Box Massacre. Now that's the one I'm really kind of excited, and at the same time I'm kind of hesitant, because if you remember last October there was a horror movie marathon on Chiller Channel. Sorry, Chiller Theater. That's an old monster movie program. On the Chiller Channel, 72 hours of horror movies, and I tried to stay up for all 72 hours. Took little power naps in between certain movies and stuff, but this is at a movie theater, and it's a 24-hour movie marathon. Now, being at home and doing 72 hours is a little different than doing 24 hours out in public. I think I can hang for 24 hours if I get just enough rest. Maybe pocket a few 5-hour energies in my pocket and stuff, but I don't know. I always got that nagging feeling in the back of my head. What if I doze off? I'm a snorer. Yeah, I snore bad. It gets ugly really fast. So I'd hate to do that out in public. But I am kind of looking forward to it, because I've always wanted to go to have a horror movie marathon. I always wanted to go to an actual horror movie marathon at a theater. For years I've wanted to do that. And now here one is. So yeah, I gotta kind of weigh my options there a little bit, because none of these are free, so gotta kind of balance the budget a little. And then of course, in October, also, October 21st is the Terror in the Isles 9. The one I went to was 8, so this one coming up is 9. And they've already announced their first movie of their three movie feature, and it is Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is like an instant classic to a lot of people, and being able to see it on the big screen sounds incredible. I've never saw it on the big screen. I didn't see it when it was new. I waited till it was on disc. So I think seeing that along with a big pack of other horror movie fans, I think would be awesome. There's a certain vibe when you're around other horror movie fans. It's just very cool. That many anyway. I've never, like I've stated before, I've never been to a horror con or anything like that. So this is about as close as I've been to one. You got a few vendors, you got a few fans, you got some horror movies. Hey, it's a party, right? And for the past week or so, I've been talking about this final movie I need for my collection. But I have 2 movies I'm waiting on. So I don't know what this is. Is it the one I've been waiting for? Is it not the one I've been waiting for? Only way to find out. That's it, Dirt. Slip. Cut your finger off on the camera. That'll make for some good viewing. I bet I'll get a lot of ratings. Let's see. Drum roll, please. It is... Yes! Score! The final installment to the series. Never owned before. Survival of the Dead. Now, before everybody starts pissing and moaning and talking about how terrible this movie is, I know this is not a cinematic landmark, okay? I know this isn't an Oscar-worthy film by any means, but that's okay, man. I figure if you watch Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, and you hail it as a classic, that means you're able to take in some of the comedic aspects of this movie, like a very unnecessary pie fight, and you take it with a grain of salt. And don't give me that jazz about, oh, you missed the social commentary in it. The pie fight represents, I don't care what it represents, okay? It's a pie fight right in the middle of my zombie movie. We're not talking about getting chocolate in my peanut butter. We're talking about a pie fight in a zombie movie. Flesh-eating zombies getting hit in the face with a pie. Pie fights are not funny. Back in Three Stooges days, they were somewhat funny. Kind of outgrew the pie fight. So in my horror movie, no. It's a poison dart in the apple tart. Know what I'm saying? But you look past that and you see Dawn of the Dead for the classic that it is. Survival of the Dead may not be that classic, but the things that are not 100% about it, you can forgive that. You can say, alright, the storyline is goofy. Or you could say, the acting sucked. Or you could say, the CGI definitely. I wish they would have just used proper effects. Maybe the digital effects were cheaper. Maybe they said, okay, we can do this on a tighter budget. Money isn't really there, so we'll use some cheaper CGI, and it shows. When the heads are on the stakes and they're kind of moving their mouths, you could see that it looks like green screen effect. It didn't look right. Some of the blood, I think, was CGI, which is kind of sucky. But all in all, it is part of the series. The only thing I don't dig about the final 3 movies, or the last 3 movies of the series, which is Survival, Land, and Diary, is that they don't seem to follow the timeline. In Night of the Living Dead, the original, you had people visiting a graveyard, and you see your first zombie, and then it becomes apparent that there's an outbreak of sorts, and they're learning to deal with the problem. Then Dawn of the Dead starts, and you see everybody going completely apeshit, and the problem's just gotten bigger. In Day of the Dead, the whole towns are abandoned. There's a handful of survivors. They don't know if they're the only ones or not. That question is kind of left up to, to their own resources. They don't really know whether anybody else is out there or not because they can't get a hold of anyone. And it kind of ends with them being on an island away from everybody, so they never know if anybody else is out there. Okay, fine. Excuse me. But then you get Land of the Dead, which kind of follows that, okay, we've had this disaster, now let's rebuild. We'll find the survivors that are around, we'll get them all together, and we will rebuild. We got Fiddler's Green, we've got the rich people, the poor people do the dirty work for the rich people, and all the deadheads are locked out of this little city. Okay, that's almost passable. I'm not sure if the word was it dystopian, kind of a post-apocalyptic without the apocalypse, I guess. I don't know. But it kind of falls in line. But then you get Diary of the Dead. And Diary of the Dead looks like it should have fallen just before Day of the Dead. Because you still got some civilization of sorts. You've still got some people floating around. But the diary is kind of told in a way of like, well, we cut this together to kind of, scare people and to tell them the truth about what's going on. Yeah, I feel like it should have either come in right before or right after Day of the Dead, because it is told in a past tense story. And then Survival of the Dead, I don't know. Survival of the Dead just kind of floats. It could coincide with the Land timeline, or just before Land of the Dead. But anyways, that's not how it worked out. And I agree with what it says here at the bottom. Time Out New York said a bloody good time. And that is exactly what I had watching this movie. A bloody good time. Yes, it gets a little goofy at times, but that's fine. That's okay. So, I went ahead and I got the single disc version. Goddamn eco cases. I got the single disc version because the double disc version had like one disc full of special features and all this other stuff, and quite frankly, in this movie, as sad as it is to say, I don't care enough about the special features. I don't care about how this or that was made. I just like the movie, and that's good enough. Man, this is a really, God, look at that. They went off. Usually the eco case just has like one in the front, but this, wow. Anyways, I'll be changing that out soon. Feels like the damn thing was broken at one point. But the disc is pristine. I see like maybe one or two little hairline scratches. I mean, teeny little scratches. So it's absolutely clean. It was a rental, and the sticker's kind of coming off, which sometimes become bleh. Get it together, man. Sometimes these stickers coming up become a problem in the player, but we'll see. But yeah, score. Survival of the Dead. So now I got them all. From Night to Survival. Can't wait to see what the next Dead movie is going to be. Thank you, Go Hastings. I know a lot of people kind of rag on this company. I've heard people say, oh man, you order from Go Hastings, you'll never see your stuff, man. I have not had any problem with Go Hastings. I've ordered tons of stuff from them. And I happen to know at least one other person who shares my fondness for the Amazon Penny DVDs. And they don't have a problem with Go Hastings either. So, that's fine by me. And that person, by the way, is Matt, Pilot Air 88. Check out his channel. Sub him, friend him. Very cool guy. That's my boy. Alright, guys. I've rambled on long enough. Geez, I didn't think this was going to be a 14+ minute video. I really didn't. But, as always, thanks for watching, and I appreciate the continued support, and thanks to everyone who's stuck with me. It's going on a year almost. Can't wait for a year to come up, and I'm almost at 700 subs. So put those two things together, I have to do something for it. So we'll see what happens. I hope it's something good. I really do. You guys take care. Thanks, and I will be talking to you again real soon.